Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to Mystical Munchies featuring the official Halo Cookbook. Today we're featuring the entree as we cook Fronk's fish nuggets after the sweet potato fries last week. First up, let's tell the story. There's a reason Fronk's fish nuggets is the leading actor in a cast of delicious offerings. The fish is buttery and crunchy and fresh, and melts as soon as you bite into it. And when they're in these conveniently small nuggets, you very quickly lose track of how many you've already eaten. Well, we'll find out about that. As usual, the ingredients are waiting for us at the table, so let's head in that direction. There's a recipe for tartar sauce with this recipe as well. I'll include it in the description down below with the recipes, but I'm not going to be making the tartar sauce because I've never warmed up to tartar sauce in my life. But the way you make that is you'll mix everything for the tartar sauce together and let it rest for an hour before serving. You can store it in a small airtight container in a refrigerator for up to a week. So we're going to make the fish nuggets. We're going to need peanut oil for deep frying. We're going to need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon each of baking powder, salt, and garlic powder, 2 teaspoons each of onion powder and paprika. And I forgot to get the last ingredient out, so I'll be right back with that. Here it is. We also need 12 ounces of amber ale, but as I wasn't able to buy it this morning, I'm substituting ginger ale. 2 pounds of cod that I've already cut into cubes, more salt and pepper. So with that, let's move into the kitchen and put this recipe together. We're going to come back to the oil part later. In the meantime, we're going to start off by whisking together. Let me grab one of my whisks out of here. I'll put that back there. We want 1.25 cups of the flour. I've got my 1/4 cup here. I'm just going to grab this 5 times because that's what 1.25 cups of flour is. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You are not going to be going too much. You're not going to be going too far. Spread that out just a little bit. We'll leave the 1/4 cup in there because we will be coming back to that before too long. There's a 1/4 cup of flour, the teaspoon each of baking powder, salt. There's the salt right there. Oh, easy does it. And garlic powder. Okay. Actually, the salt can go back up, as can the pepper. There's a reason I'm putting the salt and pepper back up now. The onion powder and the paprika, both of which I've got right here, both of which also need 2 teaspoons. Okay, that can go to the dishes. The onion powder and the paprika can go back up. And the 12 ounces of the amber ale, which, like I said, I'm substituting ginger ale because I don't drink alcohol. I'm going to open this over the sink because I was about to say I didn't like what I was hearing, but it's fine now. And I know it's fizzy, so I want to make sure it comes up Reading the meniscus is still a thing that I remember from my chemistry classes in school. We'll pour that in. That might be a little bit on the... I normally use these pie plates when I make fish, but this might have been a little bit much. So we'll see what happens here. Easy does it because I don't want the liquid to go flying everywhere. Actually, I don't want to send any of my ingredients flying. Now, fortunately, I don't seem to be sending too much flying here. That is way thick. They suggest to add more water. I don't know why they wouldn't say just add more amber ale if it seems a little bit, if it needs to be loosened. So I'm just going to add a little bit more ginger ale to it. Plus, I know full well after I'm done with this recipe, I'm not going to, well, I might have to drink the ginger ale, but I was going to say, if it was amber ale, I know I wouldn't drink it. So maybe it's a good thing I swapped in ginger ale for the amber ale instead, because I know ginger ale I might drink, the amber ale I wouldn't. This is not... Well, fortunately, it seems to be staying in the pie plate, which is, for the most part, it seems to be, the batter seems to be staying in the pie plate, which was initially something that made me nervous, as you remember early on in the recipe. Pour a little more ale in, because I still want to try to loosen this up a little bit more. Now I got a little bit spilling out there. Not too bad, though. Nothing a little paper towel can't clean up lightning quick. Okay. I was making sure there wasn't anything popping out on the other side. But it definitely seems like it's getting a little bit looser now, so that's a relief. Whoop. Just grab a little more paper towel with that. Okay. That seems like it's working out pretty well now. Let's see if I can try to loosen this up a little more. Okay. I think that's probably loose enough at this point. So, with that, now we need to bring... At this point, it would be salt and peppering each of the fish pieces, but as many pieces as I have there, I'm not going to bother with that. So, now we're going to bring a plate in shot. You can probably see it by the upper right corner of the shot over here. I'll actually come over here so I can highlight it, but it's probably about right here. I'm trying to be very careful, but I do have the temperature probe in the pot of oil that I'm heating up to 375 right now over medium heat. So I'm going to be getting a little bit of a supply line. Well, maybe supply line isn't the word for it, but I am going to have a little bit, well, maybe actually assembly line might be a little bit more what I'm looking for a description here. But basically what I'm going to be doing, after I give this a quick little wipe down, make sure that stays nice and loose. That's the batter I'm making sure stays loose. So now we're going to take the other 1/4 cup of flour, put it on a plate. I'll spread that around a little bit. I've also had to adjust the setup a little bit so I could see the temperature in real time. Canister goes up top. Okay, so I'll go ahead and spread the flour around. I may end up needing more of that, but we'll see about that. So that's all set there. Once the oil's ready, we'll do a few of the fish nuggets as a demo, but I'm not going to bore you guys with doing all of them. So we're going to wait for the temperature to come up to 375, and then we'll come back when the oven's just about ready. The oil's almost up to temperature. You're hearing the stove churning right now. So we've got an assembly line set up here. Just off shot, over to the left side here, I've got the fish. So what we're going to do is we're going to take each piece of fish, cover it in the flour, then dunk it in the batter, then we're going to put it in the oil. So I'll get a few pieces ready, and I'm expecting the oil, the temperature probe to be going off here in probably about 30 seconds. So we'll get a few of these ready. I'll probably have to wash up my hands once the probe goes off. Mostly so I can make sure I get that out. Okay. Fortunately, I've got a thing of dishwater that I just pulled back here, since I also want to be able to wash up dishes while I'm working on this part. Okay. I think we can probably get one or two more, I think, before the temperature probe goes off. Alright, we'll turn that one. There we are. I'll give my hands a quick cleaning. And then the probe should be warning us that the oil is at temperature. So here's probably about your, I would say, 30-second warning that the probe is about to start making an obnoxious beep, beep, beep noise. So if you're wearing headphones, you probably won't want to be in about 30 seconds. Spreading a little bit of the flour back out so I can keep the assembly line going here. There we are. That can come straight out and go straight into the dishwater. And now we can start putting the fish in the oil, preferably without splashing myself if possible. Because hot oil is not something I like getting on me, for obvious reasons. Okay. Oh boy, that one's about to fall. Carefully. Ooh. A little bit splashed on me, but not too bad. Alright, now we want to let these cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. And then until the batter is golden brown and the fish is cooked through. I'm going to try to get... Oh boy. That's splashing a little bit more than I would like, but it doesn't seem like it's going to come out of the pot, so I'm not... Now there's a little bit splashing out actually, so hopefully it won't be too bad. As long as I keep it to about that limit, it should be fine. So we can get the next line of fish ready. Once again, I'm going flour, then dunking it in the batter. I'll let them submerge in the batter for a little while until the next pot, and then until the first batch of fish comes out. As always, I'm not going to do all of this on camera. I'm just going to do the first batch. I'll do the first batch live in real time. Then I'll get the next batch ready. Then I'll turn the camera off and do the rest of them off camera. That way you guys at least see how it's done, but you're not sitting here for an unnecessarily long 50-minute video. I've talked about it before where, especially for recipes that involve like longer bake times and stuff like that, if it's baking and I don't need to keep an eye on it, then that's one thing. When it's something like this where I need to keep an eye on where I need to be able to keep an eye on the boiling of oil and keep it as precise as possible, I at least do the first batch in real time. That way I'm less likely to screw up the recipe. Not to say I won't screw it up, but I'm less likely to screw it up. So that's the rationale behind doing it that way. I think we can probably get one more in here. I'm roughly using the time on the clock, just kind of help me monitor the amount of time it's been cooking that way. I'm going to do a quick flip, see if I can get over on this side of the camera to do it. Not liking the flip. I think I got that one as flipped as it's going to be. My dish towel goes flying on me. As usual, I've got a plate lined with paper towel that I'm going to remove the fish to so it can cool. I think we'll give that about another maybe 30 seconds. And then we can probably pull the first batch out. Okay. I think we can go ahead and yank these out. Once again, I'll come around on this side of the camera because reaching across going over the top of hot oil is not something I like doing any more than necessary. So we'll remove those there to cool. I'll bring that back to where I'm keeping that on the spoon rest. I'll put the next batch of fish in. Again, trying to do this without splashing myself, if possible. Okay, and that's the last piece from that batch in. So now that we've done one batch now that we've done one batch in real time, I'm going to shut the camera off. I'll do the rest of these off camera. Then we'll come back to look at the final results. The last of the fish nuggets just came out of the oil. Here's our first look at them. These look really good. We'll find out how good they are when I meet you guys over at my desk for the taste test. I've got the fish nuggets right here. It's going to be a late lunch / very early dinner, so no pressure on these fish nuggets. Hopefully they turn out, but let's find out. This is another good fish recipe. You obviously have to be careful anytime you're cooking around oil, but that's just par for the course. You can tell also which ones have been out longer and which ones went in later by little clues in there, but minor details. It doesn't really affect the taste all that much, but that's another episode of Mystical Munchies in the books. Next week, we'll feature the dessert, chocolate cream pie. As for the game videos, we're going to be busy next week. Sunday will feature a double upload of Age of Innovation from Viewerland Spiel, and then another round of baseball testing, and then baseball testing will start with another round of Apple Baseball on Sunday and Inside Pitch on Monday night. As for Wednesday, we're playing Dune Imperium. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.